Now let's talk about something else. Although we have laws in this country, there's something odd happening. There is the law that we know of in courts, and there is the law that goes on in family courts, which you may or may not know are generally secret. They do not work on the premise of proving things like in a criminal law court. They work on hearsay and what social workers say and what your former abusive partner, if you have one, says. All sorts of things that are not provable, and you're not even asked to prove them properly. Now, some things in the law in this country are like smacking is legal, providing it doesn't leave a mark. Some people wish to discipline their children this way. It's legal. But if you come into contact with social services, all of a sudden it's something that you could find that you're having your child removed for because it is abusive and neglectful. Well, I know plenty of people that would disagree with that. And of course it's not against the law. So what is happening? Are there two sets of laws? There's a law for social services and there's the law of the land. So some things are not in the law, but it is now more or less in effect illegal to smack your children. The other thing to take into consideration is vaccination. I was reading something the other day that said that the more educated a woman is, the less likely she is to want her child vaccinated, because she's read all sorts of things about the potential side effects of vaccination. But I know this for a fact, that if you do not vaccinate your child and you come into contact with social services, they will say that is neglectful. They will say it is neglectful not to vaccinate your child, even though you may have made that decision with what you thought was their best interests at heart, considering all the things that you have read about it. Well, a family law court will take the social worker's side on that. So even though it's perfectly legal in English law for you to choose not to vaccinate your child, it is in effect illegal not to, because a family law court will regard that as neglectful. So people are being forced, their hands are being forced in parenting. They do not have any choices anymore. You have to do as you are told. Our freedom of choice for our children is being eroded and frankly removed. We do not actually have any choice anymore. If you are religious, social services will make you out to be a religious zealot and a nutcase. If you have views like mine, which are not particularly conventional, because I believe there's a lot of corruption in this country, then you're a nutcase for thinking that. If you're anything other than somebody completely brain dead who watches X Factor and does everything a doctor tells you to do, and eats McDonald's and does all the bland and normal things that you are supposed to do, and you get up at 7 in the morning and you go to bed at 7 at night, then there's something wrong with you, the way that social services look at it. So we are being forced as parents to have a very, very narrow way of parenting our children. It's interference by the state. All aspects of our lives are now being interfered with by the state, and parenting is one of those things that most people want to bring their children up their way, and it used to be the case that we could.